It's frustrating watching Kabengele coming off the bench because he has been such a valuable weapon for the Seminoles when he is on the floor. At 6'10", he has the length and athleticism to project as a 5 in the NBA. He can block shots, he can move his feet on the perimeter, and his ability to switch is one of the biggest reasons that Florida State is able to switch 1 through 5 on the defensive end of the floor. Perhaps the most impressive thing about Kabengele as a prospect is that he is a really good shooter that can knock down threes in pick-and-pop actions, as well as showing an ability to step into a shot in transition. He doesn't start for the Seminoles, but I'm starting to believe that he will be worth a late first-round pick come June's draft. Louis King, Oregon King, has really come on down the stretch of the season. He's up to 12.9 ppg on the season and is shooting 37.9% from 3 as a 6'9" forward with the physical tools to play the wing in the NBA. Over the course of the last 5 games, he's averaging 17.2 points, and he was really good in Oregon's 2 games in the first weekend of the tournament. And on Thursday night in the Sweet 16, he will draw a matchup with DeAndre Hunter, the best defender at that position in all of college basketball. King is trending towards early second-round, late first-round territory, and a big performance against the Wahoos could end up being the difference-maker. Murray State Morant was terrific in the 2 games that he played in the NCAA Tournament. His passing ability and high IQ approach to the game was fully on display against Marquette, while he knocked down his first 5 threes against Florida State in the second round. Morant is already a guy that will be a top 3 pick in this year's draft, but after what he did this first weekend, there has been some hype for him to be the No. 1 overall pick. That's silly. On the one hand, what he did against Marquette was not all that different from what he has been doing all season long. It was one of his best performances of the season, don't get me wrong, but anyone that had been watching Morant play and not simply watching the highlights knew he could pass like that. Then there was the shooting display from the second round. While I do believe that Morant is getting better as a shooter, overreacting to one game where he hit 5 in a row is not a great idea. That was just the second time in 65 career games that Morant made 5 or more threes, and the 4th time he's hit 4 threes in a game. We know he can make that shot. It's one of the biggest reasons he's gone from being a guy projected in the top 10 to someone that could go No. 2, but we also know he's streaky. Little, North Carolina with 39 points in the first 2 games of the NCAA Tournament. Little put together the best back-to-back performances of his freshman season on the biggest stage. He was aggressive, he found himself in the right spots on the floor, and his physical tools and motor were on full display. The problem, if there is one, is that these games were played against teams where Little's skill set will always thrive. Arizona was one of the worst defensive teams in the field. Their up-tempo brand of basketball, combined with the fact that they just didn't have the size or athleticism to deal with Little, let him flourish. The success he had against Washington was similarly matchup-based, as that 2-to-3 zone was ripe for the picking. The Huskies had no answer for anyone in the paint, not just Little. I'm not sure how much there is to take away either way from the first weekend, but Friday's matchup with Auburn will be an interesting one for NBA scouts. Auburn plays 5 out offensively, using modern, perimeter-oriented bigs in Chuma Okeke and Anthony McLemore at the 4 and the 5. That will put Little into a situation where he is being asked to defend NBA-caliber 4s in a role that is similar to the one he projects to play in the NBA. Jalen Smith, Maryland. There were 2 plays in the tournament that really stood out for Smith. The first was the murder he committed against Belmont's Dylan Windler.